Cruise news time. Well, we've got Royal canceling a couple cruises, another cruise line dropping their pre-cruise testing, and we've got adults complaining about adult comedy. Sheesh. That one's for the Zoomers. Cruise news. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news updates. Welcome to the show. It is Wednesday, the 20th of July, 2022, and I've got a pile of cruise news right there for your face. The first piece of cruise news that I want to give to you is that Royal Caribbean has canceled some of its sailings on Serenade of the Seas for the 2023 season. These cruises were set to take place between May of 2023 and September of 2023, and they would include Baltic locations. These were cruises from Copenhagen, Denmark, and from Stockholm, Sweden, and some of those cruises included stops in St. Petersburg, and because of the continued turmoil with the war between Russia and Ukraine, well, it seems untenable at this point for many cruise lines to try to keep those itineraries. The Royal Caribbean has decided to not move the Serenade of the Seas over to Europe next year. Speculation is they will continue to sail out of Tampa, Florida, which is where they're going to be sailing starting October through March of next year. That's exciting for me, but certainly a bummer for folks that have Baltic cruises booked on the Serenade next year. Cancellation day where you canceled. Did your cruise get upended by upheaval? Leave a comment below. Cruise news story number 2, an exciting story coming out of New York City. There has been a Broadway cruise announced for 2023 on the NCL Gem. It's a themed cruise taking out of New York City going to Bermuda. This cruise will run from March the 31st, 2023 until April the 5th, 2023, and it will include many Tony Award winning performers. Now, a Tony Award is not an award that I give out, but an award that is given out to people that do performances on the stage. How about that? Including Kristen Chenoweth. That was really the only name I recognized. Now look, I do love musical theater, but I'm not a hardcore Broadway nerd. Like, I don't know every song in every Broadway musical, but I guess whenever you say Broadway, a few things pop to mind. I know a lot of the soundtrack of Phantom of the Opera, of course, Hamilton, some of the newer stuff like that, and then it's unescapable, I think, to know the opening song of Rent. 525,600 minutes. 525,000 moments so dear, and on and on. Now, certainly this is a theme cruise, so it's going to be more expensive than just a regular cruise, but I think it'd be cool to go get a lot of musical theater. I think this is one that I would consider. What theme cruise would you consider? Do you have a favorite Broadway tune? Is it from Hamilton that's been so popular recently? Maybe not even recently. What's the hot lick right now? What's the hot Broadway play? Interesting stuff for the Broadway fans out there. On Broadway. Was that even from a Broadway? I don't know. Cruise news story numero 3. Cruise news story numero 3. What do we have left? We got to talk about another cruise line dropping their testing. We got to talk about the Carnival adult, a mad at adult a comedy. But let's talk about this. Anti-cruisers in Norway trying to make cruisers feel uncomfortable when visiting Norway. There is a poster campaign going on in Norwegian ports where they're basically calling cruisers parasites. Parasite lady, parasite. Nah, that's a deep cut. Anybody know what song that's from or what album that's from? Yeah, so there's people that are upset about cruise ships in the ports of Norway. They're trying to put up 1,000 posters that look like this, saying that basically cruisers are taking advantage of the environment, that cruising is bad for the environment, and that nobody wants you in our cities. Which is fair. Everybody has the right to their own opinion, and almost everything that people do for leisure could probably fall under some sort of scrutiny. But yeah, the question for me is, will this deter me? Like, if I go to one of those Norwegian ports and I see that, will I hold the whole port accountable, be like, well, if there's people here that don't want me there, then I'm not going to go there? I don't think I'm like that. I had a great time in Key West. I didn't run into anybody who didn't want me there. They took my money at the restaurant, so Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about these cruise protesters? Is it much ado about nothing, or does it tweak you a little bit? Like, oh, maybe I should think about the environmental situation of my vacation choice. It's a deep question that spans all kinds of different thought processes and morality. For me, I feel like we are here to caretake the earth a little bit. That's part of our charge, based on my faith. But at the same time, what's the worst that could happen? We just make the whole planet uninhabitable and extinct the humanity. I guess that could happen. But either way, what do you think about the protesters saying don't come to Norway? Leave a comment below. Now, I'd like to move into what I consider the lighthearted segment of the show. And I got to hit you guys in the face with a cautionary tale in this day and age. But before I get there, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in cruising. Wow, this shot really leans to some... We could do some jazzercise in here. Cruising. Please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you stay up to date with everything that's going on in said cruising, and you know stuff, and you can have water cooler conversations, as it were. I don't even know if that happens anymore. Plus, it helps me out. We hit 180,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. It is important for you guys to be a part of the notification squad and to be a part of the Loca fam, and you can do that by being subscribed. Easy peasy, doesn't cost anything. Subscribe, notification bell, thank you in advance. All right, here's the cautionary tale. We live in a society. We live in a time. It's another. Well, I don't know if that's a Zoomer reference. We live in. Oh, do you want to do some vocabulary? Do you know what Zoomers are? Zoomers are Generation Z. These are our grandkids, our younger kids, that kind of thing. And I used the term sheesh at the beginning of the show, and sheesh is a term that some of the Zoomers will use to express cringe. How about that? So there's your Zoomer definition of the day. Are you able to keep up with the vocab of the younger generations? Did you ever think you would be an older generation going, I don't understand what these kids are saying? Could be, yeah, that's where we're at these days. My fellow Gen Z and boomers out there. How about that? Okay, so here's the deal. We live in a time where a lot of people are working at home remotely, and yesterday on an MSNBC TV show, there was a stock analyst, a financial analyst, giving her take on what was going on in the world of finance when, I'm assuming it's her husband, came right through the shot in his underpants. Oh yes, they call him the streak. Woo! Any 70s kid remember that song? But yes, just a cautionary tale. If you are working remotely and you're interacting in Zoom, or for goodness sakes on a TV show, make sure you tell the old man not to come tropesing through in his boxers, or the whole MSNBC, whatever that is, gets a show. I don't watch much regular TV. Do you guys watch YouTube? That's what I watch. I watch YouTube and Hulu. Right now I'm watching Love Island. Those kooky kids trying to find love. All right, let's go back to the cruise news. Cruise news story number 4. Azamara has dropped their pre-cruise testing. Starting on July the 25th, you will no longer be required to take a pre-cruise test to go on an Azamara cruise. Most of these cruises are happening in Europe right now. They do recommend that at your own leisure, I'll say leisure since we're talking about Europe, at your own leisure to take a pre-cruise test and just see what it's like. And what would you do if you took your own leisurely pre-cruise test and it turned up positive? Would you still go to the cruise port? I bet some would. But yeah, they're not going to make you show a negative result to get on your next Azamara cruise. It could be the worm turning. Again, we have to wait and see what happens with the rest of the cruise lines. We could have a deeper discussion on... I've never really come out and said what I feel like the effectiveness of testing or any of that stuff is, but I feel like I'm getting close to saying something about it. But yeah, a lot of good comments about it and interesting conversation in the comments about testing. Are you on Azamara, one of those cruises coming up? Oh yeah, no pre-cruise test for you. That's exciting. How about that? Now let's talk about the hubbub going on over in the comments there on some of the Carnival Facebook pages. There is a lady that wrote a stern letter, a concern letter, a letter of concern to brand ambassador John Heald. What a fun place to go read about that cruise life over there with John Heald. Today takes another shot at vloggers. Like, what's up? I don't want to take shots at John Heald. I could say some stuff, but I won't. But yes, another shot at vloggers today. I'm just trying to enjoy your content, John. I'm sure. Either way, basically, a lady wrote in and said, it's about time. In a minute, it's about time to do away with the vulgar, X-rated comedy shows. Carnival, you are a family-friendly cruise brand, and you're bringing on this filth onto your cruise ship. And everybody I've talked to, I love the blanket statements. Did most of us not go through some sort of critical discussion, thinking class in school? Did we sleep through that one? I think we should all know by now, if you want your argument to be effective, you should not make blanket statements. You should not lead with everybody. Everybody does not want these comedy shows on your cruise ship. You know that's not true on the writing of the sentence, and therefore you lose all credibility when you're busting out with everybody this or all people that. Anyways, the lady says everybody doesn't want the adult comedy shows because it's detrimental to kids. The system's really easy. There's some shows that are marked family friendly. Those happen early in the night. And then there's some shows that are marked filthy, and those happen late at night. And you're not supposed to bring your kids to the filthy show. And they're not supposed to let kids be in the filthy show. And so as long as that system's working, that you as a parent are not letting your kids to the filthy show, and that the cruise lines keeping kids out of the filthy show, then nobody's none the wiser. Other than just know. What do you think? Do you think that they should take away the filthy show when it comes to comedy on cruise ships, or do you think people should just parent their kids, or the stuff that people complain about? Everybody's complaining about it. Boom! That is the show today. I hope you enjoyed it. I sure enjoyed being here today. I gotta go for a medical procedure today. We went to the doctor last week, and now I guess my thyroid's still swollen after a year. I guess I was supposed to do this last year, but today's the day. I'm gonna go get ultrasounded and see what the sex of my thyroid is. Will it be a boy? Will it be a girl? Does the thyroid have a sex? That's our afternoon, y'all. Jenny taking me to get an ultrasound. And maybe we'll do a gender reveal. Please hit the like button. And unfortunately, if you do not hit the like button, then on your next cruise, there won't be any comedy at all. The only thing that you'll be able to do for fun is watch pantomime, or mime for short. And the Zoomers all say, sheesh. It's Tony for Lido Loca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. On the Lido. Bye.